Nancy Pelosi does not want a fourth stimulus check. Let's talk about it. But first, thank you for coming back to my channel for your stimulus package and stimulus check update. Please subscribe to my channel. Please leave your thumbs up and please leave your comments. Thank you all so much for all the support that you give me on this channel. You allow me to do this. Thank you so much. Y'all, Nancy Pelosi does not want a fourth stimulus check, reoccurring checks, boost to Social Security, a raise for Social Security. She does not want any of that, and it's growing more apparent every day. Y'all remember back when they first started the third stimulus check package, all the proposals that came out? We had proposal after proposal that said $2,000 stimulus check, reoccurring stimulus checks. We could have had them any time. This was stuff that was coming from the Republican side. And Nancy Pelosi kept saying no. She said no to everything because all the other stuff that was in the bill that she didn't want. But the stimulus checks was there. All she had to do is say yes. But she kept saying no. She said it's going to be a full loaf of bread or no loaf of bread. She thought her way of thinking was a half a loaf is no good. She wants it all. So we could have had a stimulus check long before we had it if she had just said yes one time. But she kept saying no. She wants to give the appearance that she's fighting for these things, that she wants these things. And she will put proposal out that she knows will not go nowhere. But in reality, she really does not want these stimulus checks. She wants to give the appearance, so this is her way of buying votes so she can keep her Speaker of the House seat. This is just her way of buying votes. I mean, if she really wanted stimulus checks for the people, if she really wanted a boost for Social Security, if she really wanted a raise for Social Security, she could pass it through Reconciliation Act. The president has basically gave her the green light to go ahead and get it done. He said he's not going to get involved and push it through. It's up to the House to do it. Send it to him and he will sign it into law. I mean, can't get any more clear than that. Why hadn't she acted on that yet? It's because she really don't want it. Y'all, they're just stalling, and I think I know the reason why they're stalling, and I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. None of them really wants this. Y'all, it's not only Nancy Pelosi. It's all of them. They want to look like they're trying to help, but in reality, they could not give one rat's ass about the American people. All they want is that coveted vote. And it seems to be working for them, because we vote the same crap back in the office every time. They don't care anything about the seniors of this country that's struggling on $800 a month. They don't care anything about the disabled that is struggling on $800 a month. They don't give anything about the veterans that gave everything for this country that are struggling on around $800 or $900 a month. They don't care as long as they get your vote, and it seems to be working. Okay, on the fourth stimulus package, the one that they're working on now, the time to act on this is now. Time is running out. President Biden wants this whole package to be bipartisan. He knows that will not happen, but still, it's stalling. It's pushing it down the road further and further, because bipartisan just simply will not happen. As long as we got someone like the Mooch Man McConnell in office, bipartisan is a thing of the past. But we do have lawmakers on both sides. It's not only Mitch McConnell. It's not only Nancy Pelosi. We have lawmakers on both sides that are playing both sides of the fence. They act like they want something done, but they really don't. They act like they want to move forward, but they really don't. So they create these roadblocks to stall things out. The first part of the package is infrastructure. It has to be passed before we can get to the second part. And the second part is where they would be putting in a stimulus check, if in fact they do put in a stimulus check. But everyone is stalling on this infrastructure. And we got like a month to go before it has to be done. And they hadn't even sent it to committee yet. They hadn't even started negotiating on it yet. So what are they waiting on? We're going to talk about that. I think I know what they're waiting on. On the Reconciliation Act, I think this is the key to the whole thing. The House can use a Reconciliation Act 2 more times before September. But I believe they are stalling until the last minute. So then they're not using up their Reconciliation Acts. They're holding them back. But if they wait until the last minute, then they can jam in anything that they want from their grocery list of wants. And believe me, they all have a grocery list. They can jam in all of this and pass it through Reconciliation Act like that and get everything that they want personally. Y'all, it's not about the American people, what the American people needs anymore. It's only about what they want. When did that change? I mean, anyone with a half a brain can look around and see that the American people needs help. Y'all, I don't know how these seniors of our country and the disabled of our country and the veterans survive on what they get. They need more. Did you know the United States veterans is the highest percentage of suicides in our country because they just can't cope with the way things are going? More veterans kill themselves every day than any other sector of our American people. It's a sad state that our government will let this happen. When you go down to your downtown area, to the parks, and see all the homeless people, look around. You can tell if someone's a veteran from Vietnam era or something like that. Look around. Most of those people are veterans. It's a crying shame. Y'all, none of these people in Washington gives a damn about the American people. We need to remember this in the midterm elections and get their asses out of office soon. Whether they help us now or not, whether they get anything done now or not, I believe they need to go. They've made the American people suffer for too long and too hard. They've put the American people through total hell. It's time we make changes. If we want these people out of office, if we want term limits, guess what? We have to do it ourselves. We have to get out to the polls. We have to set term limits with our little check or the little lever, however it is your area votes. A lot of people say they won't vote at all because they're all crooks. That's the wrong thing to do. You have to vote. You have to vote. And if you're Democrat, If you're a die-hard Democrat or you're a die-hard Republican, it don't matter. When you go vote, whoever's in office, if they're Democrat or Republican, it's time to vote them out and vote the other way for that office. I mean, tradition, a lot of people will vote strictly Democrat or strictly Republican. Why? That is so crazy. That's asinine to do something like that. You got to vote for the person, not the party. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all Americans. And most of these people, they choose a party when they was teenagers, when they first become voters. They didn't know what they was doing. So they chose Republican or they chose Democrats and they just stayed there. Y'all, vote the person, not the party. And if they're in office now, get their sorry butts out of office. Replace them. If it's a Democrat in office that you don't like, replace them with a Republican. And vice versa. Maybe we'll get somebody in office that cares. That sure as hell can't do no worse. Y'all sound off in the comments what you think about all this garbage that we're going through and how they are just, here we go with this slogan again, they're just kicking it down the road. But that's really all they're doing right now. They don't care. Sound off on this in the comments. Please tell me how you feel. Act as if you're talking to your lawmakers and really blast them out of the water. Maybe somebody will hear it. Y'all, I love you all. Keep your faith in Jesus Christ. He will get us through this. I don't know when. It will be in His time. I believe He's already found a way. We just hadn't figured it out yet, but we will. He's not going to hand feed us anything. He puts it out there for us to see and find. And He gives us the will to do it ourselves. But He's made the way. I feel that in my heart. I love you all. Until next time, say a prayer for our country. Say a prayer for our leaders. Whether you like them or not, they need your prayers. Say a prayer for everyone around the world who's hurting through COVID, financial hardships, or any other affliction. I love you all. Until next time. Ciao.